either. Okay, so we played a lot of green-red woodlands, had some success with it. We're playing now a black-based build. This list is a little bit different from what I posted onto Twitter yesterday. We're playing a lot of the new cards. I ended up cutting the say its name from this build because I think it's just kind of worse than Grisly Salvage. This is not a deck that really cares about putting a random 9/9 into play because you can't really utilize it very well. Okay, so the idea is that we have a lot of new cards leaning us into black in this archetype. One of the big ones is Demonic Counsel, a card that is just Demonic Tutor if you have Delirium. That can also grab you a Griselbrand if you don't have Delirium as like kind of a setup. Instead of being in on the Karn loops, I wanted to be... I didn't want to play the Karn, I didn't want to play One Ring in this build because Kona is just like... It's so many 4-drops. You have so many 4-drops in your build if you're playing Karn, Kona, Ring. You could play Ring too, maybe, but I've been kind of interested in playing less rings in general because in the green-red woodlands deck. But I'm like, oh, we don't have any other artifacts, so like cutting your only artifact is a little bit weird for Delirium. But this deck does have more artifacts because we're playing a Reservoir, we're playing Nihil Spellbomb, Drum, Cookbook too. Also, we don't mind so much if our Reservoir gets countered or discarded because we can copy it with Woodland later. If it gets exiled, it is kind of a problem, but you can win some games by just attacking and like dragging to the root sometime. That also have been more so post board where we have more interaction. But Kona Rescue Beastie, 4 mana 3/4/3, as at the beginning of your second main phase, if it is tapped, you can put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. So either you are going to be getting a Springleaf Drum off of an Urza Saga, tapping into that. You're going to be attacking, which will not happen very often, or you're going to be able to copy it with Shifting Woodland, maybe after it died because you just played it turn 4, and then you'll tap Woodland as part of the copy, and then you can put Omniscience that's stuck into your hand into play. And that's kind of a big deal too here, is that in this shell, like without Fable of the Mirror Breaker, without Seasoned Pyromancer, you don't really have good ways to get Omnisciences out of your hand. So Kona being a way to get them out of your hand is pretty nice. We do have our cookbook that we're getting off of Saga too. But we're also playing 3 Griselbrands in the deck, which might kind of surprise you. But the thing is, you really want your Rumbles and your Salvage and your Crash Grabs when you have Omniscience in play to be able to dig for something that's going to win you the game, and that's your Griselbrands. We should maybe be playing 4 Griselbrands for that. I was actually kind of waffling between 4th Cash Grab versus 4th Grisly Salvage versus the 4th Griselbrand. I'm actually going to go play the 4th Griselbrand. You just kind of like... just need it so much. I know you have the Demonic Counsels, but Demonic Counsel is also like important to grab your Aetherflux Reservoir when you're going off. I think Cash Grab is better than Salvage. Salvage sees another card, but Cash Grab can put Reservoir, Utopia Sprawl, or any of these into your hand. We're also trying out Drag to the Roots, which is Delirium, destroy target non-land permanent for 2 mana. A nice interactive card that's good against basically every deck. Gonna keep this on the draw. Played against Pablo yesterday. We were playing Just Guys and see. Yeah, this deck completely built around modern only legal card. This looks like a Pioneer deck. ... Never any pleasing chat. So let's see if we get turn 3'd. Hopefully we can find a Woodland and get Delirium off of our Rumble. Find a Just Guy Ascendancy, but with no creature in play yet. Graveyard that, just digging deeper for Woodland here. There's a Kona. We could also, I guess, just drag to the roots maybe the Just Guy Ascendancy next turn, huh? Dumping the Reservoir is kind of tough here. It does give me Delirium. But the thing is, I need to be able to copy it with a Woodland now to go off. So if I draw a Woodland next turn, I can't combo kill unless I take the Reservoir. So I think I'm just taking it. The land is maybe the better choice. I also like, don't have Delirium now. So I can't drag to the roots unless I draw a land or enabler. Maybe I should just take in the land. Yeah, only Woodland is our way to recover Reservoir, which I think is fine. You're talking about Zoo being misbuilt at the moment. Was it something like this you had in mind? I mean, I've played the deck on stream. I mean, it's a little bit out of date now, but it's just like... This is pretty close to identical to what I have. But yeah, just Guide, Pride, and Johnny are better cards than the Shoba Brawler, Ragavan, and Wild Nakatl. And it's like, it's to me like this concept just feels so simple that I'm kind of going crazy that everybody's playing builds like this. Okay, they get a Horizon Canopy, and I don't know if they can just kill me all in one go next turn. Let me just cast the Rumble. Maybe I can get Delirium and hold up Drag to the Roots. We do have Delirium. I'm going to go to grab this Forest. So now next turn I can go Demonic Counsel into Woodland, but then I won't be able to activate the Woodland immediately. So I think I'm just gonna grab my Woodland. I think taking the Wetland was right. That way we could have killed the Just Guys Hidden Seed. In theory, could have used Kona to sneak Griselbrand into play. I mean, yeah. I think that makes some sense. Yeah, Drag is an instant speed, 2 mana, destroy target non-land permanent. If this was all it said, it would be just, you know, big staple in every deck. You can only play it in Delirium decks, though. Does Brave the Elements have legs in any Guide, Pride to Johnny Shells? I mean, he doesn't protect from Wrath the Skies, so it doesn't seem like something I'd be that interested in playing. Do you consider Battlestrade Worm to be good in the Delirium deck? There's a shell I'm kind of working on, and I've gotten like kind of stuck on, but I want to figure out that is playing. When I play Battlestrade Worm, I want to have 4 Fanatic of Ronus in my deck, because it's like Fanatic is another good card to mill. Fanatic gets enabled by Worm, gets enabled by Carnosaur. All these cards are green, and I'm just like a little stuck on exactly how I want to do that. Can my opponent kill me with just a Horizon Canopy? I think no. We might get silenced here. It's very on brand for Pablo to like just, I main deck in a silence today. That's something. Yeah. Called shot, I guess. I don't know. Is the Fnatic list your Fnatic Archon list? I haven't posted it. I just said I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Main deck Veil of Summer too. Would have got veiled if we dragged the Rooted. I have not. It's day 2 of Duskborn. I have not posted all the lists. I have not figured them all out yet. I'm working so hard. So much. Yeah, my misplay of summoning the card to their hand again. They discard a Cerulean Wisp, 2 cards on the bottom with Preordain. Naya mana available. Oh, blue mana available now. Opinion on swapping Soul Guide for Ghost Vacuum. Well, it's not. It's Nihil Spellbomb, which cantrips, and the cantripping. I just want to have something I can cantrip off Urza Saga and interact with my opponent well. I think Ghost Vacuuming my Griselbrand is just way too slow. Am I playing an RCQs? I haven't played an RCQ in like 6 months or something. I would probably play Blue Belcher, but I don't know what build. A lot of Serum Visions. But with no blue mana for Fate Stitcher, I don't really know how we could die right now. I do know that I'm going to want to... Oh, I milled all my untapped lands. Oh, sorry, I guess I still had this swamp, but I drew Wooded Foothills. I guess now it's not really any reason to sack the spawn. What do you have with just a Stomping Ground? Pablo, the thing is with Pablo, he just always has something. Okay, not this time, I guess. Okay, so I think in these spots, what you want to do, just in case to play around removal on Reservoir, you want to get to a spot where you can draw a lot of instants to respond to your opponent killing your Reservoir, if possible. Obviously, it won't always work, but I think that's what you should try to do. Don't think I want to reveal that I have Kona in my deck if I don't have to. And I don't want to reveal that I have Drag to the Roots in my deck if I don't have to. Although maybe have I already milled any of these cards? Okay. Opponent just concedes, not that worried about it. Okay, let's bring in our Force of Vigors and also Haywire Mite. I also have Drag to the Roots, so I have a lot of, you know, pretty relevant interaction. I don't exactly want Thoughtseize against an opponent who has a lot of Veil, like main deck Veil of Summer. Oh, we had, yeah, I didn't know if I had a Kona in the bin. In fact, I wonder should I just cut my Drag to the Roots so that I am just kind of immune to their Veils? I kind of think that makes sense. A bit odd. Is there a reason for not running Beside You? I cut my Traverse the Uvenwald, so I feel like I didn't need it so much anymore. But I guess maybe you still want to like Black Tutor for it. So the reason is also that we're a Urza Saga Utopia Sprawl deck, so it's like if I need to add these sagas for better Delirium and Springleaf Drum for Kona, and we also have 4 Shifting Woodlands that are non-forest. We have a swamp that's a non-forest. We kind of just need every other land to be a forest for Utopia Sprawl. Was at least my thinking. Okay, let's keep this one. Put back the cookbook, I guess. Is Sunken Citadel unplayable? Yes, it's unplayable. It's like you it's very tough for you to like play Sunken Citadel on turn 1, then get Delirium on turn 2, then have Woodland just available on turn 3 to activate. It'll happen sometimes, but like the thing is you just kind of need to be using your mana to set up, and you need to be setting up like kind of on every turn. Also like the spots where you're setting up with Sunken Citadel, you could just be surveilling instead. You could just play a surveil land or fetch for a surveil land. It's just like, I don't know. I do think it's unplayable. I have tested it in like blue-green shells, not like these shells, but you know, it's possible that I would keep that maybe if I saw a Kona. It could even be just a fine keep because I have Rumble, like tapping the spawns to Rumble or to the token is kind of cool. Okay, let's just dump that in the graveyard, I guess. Demonic Counsel has been pretty cool so far. There's something about being able to Neoform Alnatech into Griselbrand. No, you're just not going to be able to Alnatech that often. The thing about Alnatech is it's cool that it gives you like this nut draw. It's cool that like you have like a card that's like a pretty good enabler that just randomly like you put a 9/9 into play, and if you draw it, it's not a brick because it rampant growth. I like that dynamic of this card a lot, but the card is not I think doing enough more than that. Goodbye, sweet spawn token. Buried Alive could only put creatures in the graveyard. This has been a very common misconception. I'm going to Rumble. We might miss on land, but it's, you know, obviously very, very good if we can just hit here. And we did hit. But I think I'm going to pretend like I didn't and just hold the Woodland in my hand for now. I guess this is worse if they kill my spawn token again, but it's just kind of good to like not show your opponent that you have it. It does make Bowmaster kill you, only if you have no removal in your deck. Yeah. This is part of the reason why we're not playing it here. We have some removal. Oh, Rumble reveals it, sorry. Playing around, nothing. This one doesn't reveal though. Right, you have a second Ascendancy. Breach is interesting. I'm not trying to be mean or thing. Card is pronounced all to knock. It bugs me every time you say it. It's weird, to be honest, but more of a me problem than you. Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's more of a you problem than me with Peace and Love. It's like a weird made up horror from a goofy Magic the Gathering set, and I don't know. I do try to pronounce it some way. For some reason, it comes out the other way. You know what card I'm talking about. It's really not a big deal. And I don't know. I I don't know. I don't know what to say. I agree that it's more of a you problem than a me problem. It is a. There are so many weird, goofy words that I feel like Wizards just prints without like saying out loud first, and I don't know. I just don't care very much. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you do, but I will not be silenced. Peace and love. Peace and love. It is funny that I can't pronounce the card that's associated with Say Its name. The irony is not lost on me. Do you think Skelemental plus FOMO is worth exploring? Double connect trigger, huge threat. FOMO feeds the unearths. I hate to admit it, but yeah, that sounds pretty good. So my opponent Manamorphoses again. Now can't play anything else from the graveyard without getting another card in there. See, but just leaving a mana up to like cast Silence, I guess. Oh. How do you have Cling to Dusk in your... I guess they have a lot of things to tap for 5 colors. The thing is, Pablo just always has like the most random, unexpected card. It's so crazy. Just always has the niche one of at the right time. It's awesome. So I guess I'm hoping to draw a green card so I can Demonic Tutor for Force of Vigor. And then maybe also play Cookbook and discard Griselbrand. So I've drawn a land. So I guess I'm going to Demonic Tutor for Haywire Mite, which is perhaps a bit too telegraphed. I don't know how good Tutor for green card, Tutor for Force of Vigor is. I just lose my Tutor, right? Council is bugged to show the card you search. Oh, that's lame. But it looks like it wouldn't have really been different for us here. Alright, so it doesn't have an answer to the Might at the moment. It has Ascendancy, 3 mystery cards. Okay, I think I'm getting the Nihil Spellbomb right. Because this Cling to Dust is just a big problem if our opponent is just holding up Cling forever. And then if our opponent, plays Jeskai Ascendancy, you can try to Haywire Mite, and if they play nothing on their turn, we can just sack the Spellbomb. How far away are we from literally having Demonic Tutor in the format? Pretty far, I think. Okay, I'm gonna cash this in and probably lose. Gonna go to game 3. Demonic Tutor would be really nuts in like Tron and Titan. Few other decks too. It would be a very strong card. Okay, silencing first does not bode very well for me, huh? Demonic Tutor doesn't exist in any format outside of Vintage. This is Timeless Erasure, and I will not stand for it. What did they reveal to Glittering Wish here? Yeah, Commander, also the most popular format. Teferi the Fun Raveler. Can bounce the Harvest. Discarding Harvest. I'm going to go to... Or can bounce the Growth. I'm going to go to game... Game 2 here. Game 3. Listen, I don't even know what game it is. I can't pronounce all the tech. Old School means pre-modern. Old School is different from pre-modern. Old School is like not only any card that was only legal in 1993, 1994, but also real Old School players, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, will only let you play with cards that, like physical cards that were actually printed in that era. It's like kind of a no-no if you're playing with like reprints of cards that were printed in that era. And then pre-modern is just all of the sets legal before modern with a ban list. Grab the Saga. Is pre-modern unsolved? I don't know. I don't play pre-modern. I don't know. I will say that formats that not very many people play are very. A lot of times people say that they're solved and they just aren't. uh, like I would imagine like if Pauper had a million eyes on it, like maybe the metagame would look different. I think this is true for pure modern that Doom plays. I imagine it's true for pre-modern. Um, I think that like it's just like the less people play a format, the less solved it is. Opponent grabs a pest control. Okay, well, let's see if we get lucky on our cash grab. So a Griselbrand in the yard, and then a Griselbrand in hand to cast if we off of Omniscience potentially. Thankfully, they don't get to destroy my Saga here, but I'm gonna hopefully find a Force of Vigor off of my Griselbrand. Hard to say if I'll find it or not. Still looking. That means Tile Leaders is the most unsolved format. I mean, it was when I was playing it. It was just I literally never lost a match of Tile Leaders. My biggest flex. It was just everybody's playing these mid-range soup decks. I just would farm with Azusa all day. I was so undefeatable. It was awesome. Did I discard an Omniscience yet? Yes, so I want to keep one in my hand. Discard this cookbook. Discard Utopia Sprawl. Keep one of the Konas. Discard a Griselbrand. I think, yeah. Oh no, I don't want to discard Rumble because I need green cards, so I think I just discard the tutors. Have I started cutting All Attack into Bowmasters yet? Every deck I've played with All Attack has a lot of removal. Or I guess not the last one, but the main deck I've been playing All Attack in just has removal for Bowmasters. So I'm like I think at the moment I like actively want them to Bowmaster so I can draw like 9 cards or a ton of cards and just kill the Bowmaster and deal with the token. Why is Azusa good in Tiny Leaders? What can you even ramp to? X-Spells? Yeah, I would play a lot of Hydras. But like what they couldn't beat was like I was like a Turbo Dark Depths deck that would also I was a Turbo Dark Depths deck that would also like just chain Constant Mists and Glacial Chasm. Glacial Chasm was like the best card in Tiny Leaders when I was playing. Funny enough. Okay, so I was gonna get my Springleaf Drum for Kona, but I guess we'll just do the Woodland thing. Back up. Don't think I'm gonna be out of spells here. Long first match against a very scary player. I've like looked at like playing teamer builds. I've looked at like retooling the deck, but it's just like I just kind of feel like the Bance build is pretty dang close to where I want to be in paper, and so that's the reason I haven't returned to it is I would just play very very close to the Bance list, like maybe like update sideboard, like work on the sideboard week to week, but it's just not going to be different enough for me to really be doing a lot more work on it right now. Right, on the play against energy with the Utopia Sprawl is pretty good. I am not being critical here, but I do love community creation formats. EDH pretty much the only thing that's stuck. Yeah, I agree. Community creative formats are cool. I think Pauper is also a community created format. Okay, I love to see that because that means we're not going to get Blood Mooned. Let's take the Kona and cast it here. It's probably going to die, but I mostly like that I just have a play here. Pioneer and Modern are also community created formats. Pioneer was not a community created format. This is misinfo. Modern might have been. I don't know. I actually didn't really play Modern when it first came out. But Pioneer is like very explicitly a Wizards format. I was around then. Do you have non-combat ways to tap Kona? I have a Springleaf Drum off the Saga. And I have Woodlands itself. Pioneer was WotC sanctioned Frontier. I mean, Frontier was pretty different, but I guess, yeah, I don't know. It's evolution of that set. Frontier was always felt a little weird to me. Okay, Omniscience. Demonic Tutor. You have a Spell Pierce? No Spell Pierce. So against Jeskai, don't really need to have... I guess they could have Damping Spheres? You miss copying Kona with Woodland? I mean, is it better than copying Omniscience? I felt like I just wanted to take the right play instead of the content play. I'm going to cut the Spellbomb. I'm going to play one Fatal Push over Spellbomb. I'm going to go down, I think, 2 salvages, play 2 more pushes. I want to go down on Kona, too. Kona's probably just quite bad at the matchup. But maybe she's good against some hate. Let's keep the Kona in for now, but maybe right to cut it. You could have done it a turn earlier, right? I don't think so. Tell me how I could have, please. We're not a friend anymore with Alnatech. I think Alnatech is not good in this deck because like the aggro decks we've been playing it in are very aggressive, and they play Detective's Phoenix, and you can haste your Alnatech. I'm sorry mispronouncing. I know, and I'm so self-conscious about it. But it's like this deck like just cannot utilize a random 9/9 very well. The rampant growth on it is like kind of weirdly good sometimes, but I think it's just not really where you want to be. Yeah, so we're just gonna, I think, hold up all instants here unless I draw a Rumble. It's kind of good to hold Woodlands, I think. On the tech, you can do it. The thing is, I'm not interested in pronouncing the card correctly. Things have gotten better, but like all the tech or whatever, like these weird, mouthy, awful to pronounce, made up fantasy names that Wizards takes like no effort into like making them easy to like. Wizards doesn't make them easy to pronounce. They make them awful to pronounce, awful to say. I just am not really interested in in learning to pronounce this card. They make no effort to make these cards pronounceable. Why should I learn to pronounce it? Okay, no attack with this Guide of Souls is a mood. Yeah, yeah. Or, you know, maybe I'm being a bit dramatic, but it used to be like really, really bad. It used to be so much worse with the names. It's not as bad as it used to be. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize that brought me off Delirium. I guess I don't know if I'm supposed to bring this into my hand, though, because I really want to. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's better to have this in hand to win when we can Omniscience or to just chill. But here, if this dies, we have Delirium. Genuine question: did you learn phonics when you were a kid, or learn to guess words in context? I had dyslexia, chat. I I have dysgraphia, which people don't really know about, but I do just have dysgraphia. It's hard for me to pronounce things. With peace and love, peace and love. Okay, so we can attack with Kona, and if it dies in combat, we can copy it and then put Griselbrand into play. So nice to have this backup plan to the surgical extraction. Okay, just takes 4. Trigger on the stack. Oh boy. So now we put Aetherflux Reservoir into play, I guess.
It's me, your friend, Aspiring Spike.
Cash grabbing. Urza Saga, another plan V, I guess. I can also discard my Griselbrand and like copy it with a Woodland. That's 17 life. Weird game. Six, 7, 8, 9. Oof. Okay, I think we're technically... Yeah, we're still kind of alive here. Okay, much less alive. So they're going to kill my Kona. Oh, they're targeting me? I guess I'm just dead because the Containment Priest is flying. Okay. Game 3. Wasn't attacking good there. My opponent has a Containment Priest in play, so if I attack, then I can't put Griselbrand into play. I need to leave this back as a blocker. Alright, yeah, let's play this third Kona. It seems like maybe they like down on removal spells too. Let's go down all the salvages, maybe. Don't want to bring in Nihil Spellbomb to like counter opponent's surgical. Doesn't seem good enough. If it was like Relic, that might be better. Something to think about. Turn 1 guide again. I'm going to main phase this for Urza Saga, and that is exactly what we find. Next, we can even Saga token and cast Cash Grab. Hit another Amped Raptor. Pretty good. Guided Soul is going to have a lot of juice. Obviously better hits, but... Down to 16. Take up the Saga. Find a Wooded Foothills. My chump blocking with this Saga token. If it means I can draw 7 off Griselbrand, I'll need to. They're attacking me for 7 down to 9. So I guess I would have 1. Oh no, I do need to chump block because they're going to jump an Amped Raptor. So I'm taking 7 down to 9, fetch down to 8. And then we're going to cast the Cash Grab now, because we have to do it now, otherwise we can't tap anything to the drum. Certainly looking for an Omniscience. We find a Kona, which, in combination with my Springleaf Drum, can allow me to dump a Griselbrand into play, but this is not very good if my opponent has Containment Priest. We saw Containment Priest last game. Not very good if they have Galvanic Discharge. So, is it better for me if I cast Cash Grab? Yeah, if I cast Cash Grab, I'm just a mana short, so I think I'm just gonna save the cash grab and tap the drum to sack a food token. I think 3 life is better than just resolving a cash grab, and then we're just not playing around my opponent having anything. We can cash grab for Omni. The problem with cash grabbing is we don't have enough mana to activate Woodland afterward. Yeah, there's that Containment Priest. Classic energy matchup. Draws their sideboard cards. Just thinking about surveilling versus casting drum on one. I think I'm gonna just cast the drum since I have Kona in hand. Yeah, Priest is pretty good at the moment, I think. Feels weird to play Containment Priest in your Amped Raptor deck. So this is something I've been just thinking more about. It's just okay to have a couple like tensions with Amped Raptor, especially it's like it's good to hit Priest off your first Raptor. It's only bad like off of your second one, or you know if you like. But if you have Priest in play against a deck that Priest is very good against, you're just not that worried. You know, you can still hit other cards too because there's have a 2/1, get 2 energy. So probably up against Living End here. It's kind of a good draw. Now I can Kona next turn. Oh, it also just casts the card. Yeah, doesn't even Priest doesn't even stop it. The Raptor plus Slurs would be so crazy. Oh, I guess Raptor has to be cast from hand, so like retracing it wouldn't really work, right? Okay, not very good. Opponent maybe just reading the new cards. Maybe thinking about endurancing me, not that I think that they would. For what else does Energy need Priest on the sideboard? Against Gorios and Through the Breach. Hit some other stuff too, but mostly those 2 decks. Yeah, it's not actually good against Living End, is it? I think it's one of those cards that people think does or has text against Living End, but doesn't actually. Okay, I think I'm just gonna play Cookbook with the ability to discard Kona in response to a Living End. And then I can cast Drag to the Roots on their biggest thing, too. They didn't take this Endurance. Maybe they have another one. They also might just force this, right? They might just Endurance the Kona, too. So I think we're getting Enduranced. But any more changes or thoughts after yesterday's 2 leagues with Delirium? I've splashed Nethergoyf and I want to play that build today some. I ended up not splashing any other card, and I think Nethergoyf is just so good in that deck. But we'll see. I guess was playing this really bad against the Street Wraith? Maybe it was. Hakai's to the 20 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Harvester of Misery. I'm not quite miserable enough to register that card, I guess. Maybe one day. And maybe I was supposed to discard... Oh, I guess I was supposed to discard Omniscience to just kill an Endurance here. Would we ever want a map? It's pretty dang slow. Bad to draw most of the time. Alright, that is the best top deck. So I guess I can still cycle the Spellbomb, because I could just use it with Springleaf Drum. If I wanted to, but let's just see if they have 3rd Endurance here. This might bait a Force of Negation. Now I think survival is the most important thing. I'm gonna go ahead and... Is the Street Wraith the scariest card, or is it the Waker? Gotta be the Waker. I think I'm more likely to sack a food token than I am to cycle the Spellbomb right now. And so I just cycle Spellbomb and miss, I lose this game. Any thoughts to nameless inversion as a tutor target? I hate it. It's like I really do not want to spend 4 mana for a lightning strike in modern. And maybe you could board it in if you feel like there's like a hate bear that's really good against you, but there aren't really that many hate bears that are very good against you. There's a small handful. Okay, I think I unhate it. I think as like a 1-of in the sideboard could be okay. It's a fun idea. I love it. I love it actually. Okay. So cycle the Spellbomb. No creatures in the yard to get back with the cookbook either. I can copy Spellbomb and sack it. Copy, block, 4/4. I'm going to discard with my cookbook, so it'll be a 4/4 anyways. And now I have to gain life. Oh, we can copy Saga. Wait, if we copy Saga, then it gets... It only goes to chapter 1 first. It's very slow. Can copy Saga and upkeep. That's going to be worse than copying the Spellbomb to cycle it if we brick. This is also a chump block with the construct because we have to sack pre-damage. No, it doesn't die. Sagas die if they don't have chapters, not if they don't have counters. I wish I didn't know that. Oh, this isn't even going to work because I'm not going to have enough mana to... Oh no, I will have enough mana to discard whatever I draw here and sack it to the food token. So I need to negate the Street Wraith, right? Why not copy Spellbomb to make it a 4/4? Because I needed to sack the food token lest I die. I had 4 mana. I think we're saying the same thing. It's 2 mana to sack a food token, right? I had enough mana here. Yes, I know. I had enough mana here. I realized that. Which I could have done both. I could have done both last turn. Okay. Then I missed it, I guess. I'm going to Haywire Mite in for Leyline of the Void. I'm not really expecting Leyline. Did not mean to board that out. I want the Veil of Summers, I think, to cut all the drag to the roots. Then I'm going to cut this package and click submit. Why not discard with cookbook and copy attack? Well, that also loses to press the enemy, but I was thinking I wanted to block. You just I also want to have Griselbrand like kind of permanently in play, but I guess discarding and attacking is better. It does also lose to press the enemy, but you are right that it's better. Seven card Leyline hand. Drew my Nihil Spellbomb is kind of interesting. So we get our Haywire Mite. We mite the ley line. Then I need to think on, is it better for me to... I should just Rumble here, because I can still play the Spellbomb after the Rumble if it doesn't get forced. If they had forced, they just force the Spellbomb anyways. I also might mill over a Griselbrand too. I might be in a spot where I don't care about living in that much. Kind of looking like that spot. I think I should take the Sprawl so that I still have 4 or more types in the yard. Only 3 right now though, so since I'm just gonna play the Spellbomb since I can't copy Omniscience next turn quite yet. If they besiege you, I'm not gonna sack the Spellbomb. If they kill it without giving me a benefit, I will sack. I guess this is Delirium too, but obviously I can't. I couldn't have had it all. Rolling in the deep or not. What's missing their 4th land drop here? I doubt that they would counter this that often. So I'm going to take a backup Woodland in case my opponent has like top decks Besage you. It's probably just going to be better for me to get a Mortuaries. Because what I expect to happen now is I'm going to go Woodland, copy Omniscience. My opponent will Endurance in response. That's okay. We spend 4 mana to make them discard 2 cards. And then we need to set up for Delirium again. And in that scenario, I'm going to have wanted to take this Mortuary, I think. Now I guess I get punished because I can't Thoughtseize first, but I think that's okay. We'll just do this. We'll then target Omniscience. You'll Endurance. Then we'll just keep going. How the red-green Delirium aggro deck go? It went pretty well, I thought. So in response to this, they're Force of Vigoring. I guess this is because they're also going to Omniscience. Sorry, they're also going to Endurance. And they don't want to like fill up the yard. So they had down to 3 cards in their hand. It would be a nice time to just put a Griselbrand into the yard. They also timed this wrong. They didn't let the Force of Vigor resolve first, which is weird. Not going to graveyard a Rumble, though. Rumble's too good. But yeah, I like the deck. I thought the Delirium deck looked good yesterday. And we're going to play a slightly tweaked build where we're playing Netherglyph over Patchwork Beastie. All right, so let's see what they're working with. 2 Subtleties and an Ardent Plea. Or sorry, 2 Subtleties and 2 Ardent Pleas. I think I'm taking the plea because like I don't want to make their other plea better by like making it actually like kind of castable. If that makes sense. What Saga targets do I have left? I've already used a Nihil Spellbomb. Oh, the Nihil Spellbomb got shuffled back in, so I can just grab this, I guess. And then we have 6 cards, all lands, all enchantment or sorcery. So maybe we'll get Delirium here. Okay. But the cash grab is instant there. Okay. So my opponent needs to top deck something, and it can't be Endurance because they have no green card and no second green source. I guess they could just top deck a white source and get back Endurance. In hindsight, do you think Rumble would have been A tier in the Image 3 tier list? Yeah. I'm going to try to get that video done this weekend, a redo of the MH3 tier list. Okay, so we're going to Woodland our Omniscience. My favorite thing to do in Modern. I'm going to cast Griselbrand, they're going to Subtlety, then I'll just Demonic Counsel for another Griselbrand. It is kind of funny that a lot of times you're just still getting a Griselbrand off this, even if you have Delirium. I guess I should cast the Reservoir first, although it is not really going to matter. They only changed Nethergoy for you trying Amtraptor as well for Delirium aggro list. You can't play Amtraptor without Aether Hub. You have too many 3-drops. And if I was going to play another 2-mana creature, just like a random ass 2-mana creature, I would play Tarmogoyf, but there isn't really room for Tarmogoyf. So now that we know for sure that they have Leyline of the Void, I brought in one, as a speculation last round. I'm going to go ahead and pull in just the second Mite, I think. Let me pull up that list. Yeah, so I ended up adding the 4th Endurance to the sideboard. There, we just played against so many graveyard-focused decks last round. I'm keeping the Blood Moons for now. But at the moment, it's just a light splash for Nethergoyf, because it is just like... In a deck where Patchwork Beastie was fine, but clearly the worst card, and you're really interested in another really powerful 1-mana creature, and there just is another really powerful 1-mana Delirium-focused creature, I think it just makes sense to play this one. Why the one of Aetherflux Reservoir? You got to win the game, and it pairs really well with Griselbrand. I'm interested in trying to win the game. Okay, my opponent is on a Molda 6. Urza Saga, pretty important tool. Thoughtseize, nice tool. I'm going to keep these. Is Wraith too much of a stretch? I don't think you want to play Wraith without Death Shadow or Inti. I don't think it's very important, but it could be okay. Like, I understand why you want it. 6-card Leyline hand this time. Now I need to decide if I'm playing Saga turn 1 or am I playing Sprawl. And now, because I'm like kind of locked on getting Haywire Mite, not Nihil Spellbomb, I think it's a little less important we play on turn 1. Just gonna give up my basic forest, get a swamp here, or make black off Utopia Sprawl. And then we'll go Saga Thoughtseize, then we'll probably go make a Saga token, then get the Haywire Mite. I will say you've had the one of Flux very frequently on these win turns. Yeah, but we have 4 Demonic Tutors to find it also. And so it's like when you're going off with the Griselbrand, you draw a ton of cards, then you just Demonic Tutor for it. But yeah, we have also drawn it. That's true. Oh, sorry. I guess I should have played this first because of Force of Vigor. What do you think about Aggro Delirium with Woodlands copying Demolisher Spawn? Demolisher Spawn. I think so far it seems like Arena of Glory is much more important. What the heck is Demolisher Spawn? Kind of interesting. Why didn't I rumble there? If I rumble and I mill over my Aetherflux Reservoir, I basically can't win, so I'm gonna try to wait until I get rid of this Leyline, but maybe that's gonna be a little bit too tough to do. I might need to rumble. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna surveil again, and if I don't see exactly Haywire Mite or Urza Saga, I will now cast the rumble. We have more Griselbrands. Ding ding ding. And the Demolisher Spawn is interesting. I am kind of working on like a bigger green build with Fanatic of Ronus. And this is like kind of a card I didn't really read. But it weirdly seems like it might fit in that deck. I'll try to get that done for tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about it. I've been like a little stuck on the direction to go. Oh, it's Commander only. Dang. Guess that's why I didn't read it. Good suggestion, though. Oh, sorry, I don't know why I'm just playing into this Force Negation so hard. It's kind of fun. First Modern League after a long time is a normal 3 energy deck. It's above average, but energy is the most popular deck in Modern. So the hand is Leyline of the Void mystery card, and then another mystery card. It's nice that they can't Ardent Plea here. How'd Rhinos go? Not very well. Kind of much worse than I expected it to go. I'm interested in cutting the Amped Raptors from the deck and going more back in on so you have Subtlety or the 4-mana card here. Oh, can that 4-mana card, can it cast Leyline of the Void? I think we're about to find out. Oh, just main phase in that. Okay, sure. So I know the last card is Leyline, so I'm not going to want to use that here. There's a good chance I'm just going to Thoughtseize my own Omniscience. But I think I want to cut the Raptors and play more Arena of Glories and play more Fly Traps next time I play the Rhinos build. But I think the Rhinos build is worse than like the Delirium build is also kind of my current impression or whatever. All right, there's a Curator that they decided to cast instead of Cycle. We'll see how that works out for them. This is a bit unorthodox, but I think I'm just going to cast that. Yeah, don't quite have Delirium. If I draw a fetch land, though, we can. We have Delirium. Yeah, cast instant sorcery spell with equal or lesser mana value from hand without paying mana cost, right. Ah, and they found the agent. And then they have 13 points of power. Oh, but I top deck a Rumble. Go up to 13, and then the Rumble token can block. And okay, so I can sorcery, enchantment. Wait. If I take this forest, I don't have Delirium. I have land, enchantment, sorcery. So that's a bit awkward. Bit awkward, but not dead. Gonna Thoughtseize myself. Stay at 13 life. Oh wait, oh dang it! I already had. I missed. I already had land. We don't have Delirium anyways. But I should have taken the forest and just entombed the Omniscience. I misread. So now we're just kind of cooked. Looks like we're going to be playing the Jund deck soon. Jund. Yeah. I think this one's probably not as good as the green-red builds. Which is what I was kind of expecting, but obviously it's part of the testing the new cards. All right, let's go back to the Delirium Stompy deck. Most promising deck by a lot so far. Yeah, Rumble's a sorcery.